I'm just going to sit here in the sun. This is normally my view from the deck, but I'll just turn this camera around so you can see my view. And it's also a little bit cold this morning. Yeah, all the kids had to wear jackets and cover up and everything. Even this wind is getting quite cold. But anyway, yeah, we got a funny neighbor. They're hardly here. They're they're busy working. So his work is working for a company that provides chickens for one of the big branches, let's just say 7-Eleven, a big shop franchise. And he hardly gets any time off work. The first week when he bought a house, he and his crew, his friends, were finishing off building the fence, and then that's it. They left, and then the next weekend after they came back, spent a couple of days, left, but generally during the week they're hardly here. So um, yeah, I don't see the purpose in my view of what's the point of you buying the house when you're hardly here. I mean, I've got nothing against buying a house, having it as a home, keeping it for your family, having that mortgage thing. But for me, if I've got something and I'm paying it off and I'm working, I like to use it. Recently, I sold my motorbike. I had a Kawasaki Ninja 650. Sold it because as much as I love the bike, I just don't use it as often now. Um, Ever since my hours were reduced by working at the school, I don't use it to go to work as much. So most of the time, it's just sitting there. So instead of keeping it, I just sold it off and just used that money for something better, like going on holiday and meeting our cousin in Bangkok. Yeah. So yeah, um, we've been sleeping in the bamboo hut for a while now. I enjoy it. Nothing wrong with it. I think once you close your eyes, you don't really doesn't really matter where you live, whether you're living in an apartment somewhere, you're living in a hut somewhere, whether you're living in a tent somewhere, um, or you're living in a two-story house. Once you close your eyes, it doesn't really matter, really. So yeah, really enjoy sleeping in the hut. It's nice and cool. The only complaint is you do hear a lot of noises from the insects and the birds. I think there's a few birds in there. I think there's a snake living in there trying to eat the birds. But they don't bother me too much. They just make a little bit of noise, but you do fall asleep. Anyway, so I just wanted to make this video just to reflect on how the year is going. And well, after selling the house, I would say that it's going pretty good now. There's this when I was training, when I was teaching, I used to teach martial arts to all kinds of students, from adults to teenagers to kids. Now I'm just teaching to little kids. Well, when I used to teach, I used to come up with these quotes, these motivation quotes, um, and that's supposed to give them the mindset of being a black belt and winning all the time and being the best and improving. Because when we're going through the belts, that's what it's all about, trying to improve, try to be the better version of yourself. If you're starting off as a white belt and you go to blue belt, you should be a better version of yourself on that time. So in the past, I have talked and I have motivated quite a few people to change careers, to change their jobs, and I've been, yeah, kind of a motivation speaker for those people to push to be better. But recently, I haven't been doing that because, yeah, I'm just teaching I'm just teaching 5-year-olds now. They don't need motivation quotes. And even if I was teaching high school students, they don't even know what a motivation quote is. There's a few things that don't really exist here, which would exist in the Western world, and motivation quotes would be one of them. But one motivation quote that I discovered, which kind of explains the way that I'm at the moment, is like this. I think it came from Bruce Lee. He said that before you fill the cup, you've got to empty it first. And I think after we sold that house, and I think we just emptied my cup, and now I'm about to fill it up. So 2025, which will be in a couple weeks, a new year. Most Thai people, they don't have New Year's New Year's goal or anything. But yeah, I still have that mindset of having a New Year's goal. And yeah, 2025 next year, I've got some plans. Don't know how it's going to work out, but yeah. Anyway, but in a couple months, we'll be heading back to New Zealand for a holiday. I'm thinking about getting a caravan and doing a caravan trip somewhere while I'm in New Zealand, probably just rent it out. We're not too sure. The thing is, we don't have a crystal ball to show us how things are going to work out. And I think that can cause a lot of anxiety for some people. Not knowing the facts of not knowing can cause, a bit of anxiety and stress. But we're just going to go with the flow, see how it goes. But yeah, we'll be back to visit friends and family again. And then after that, like I said in my last video, I wouldn't mind doing some more overseas holidays somewhere. Yep. So anyway, the kids are at school at the moment. They're still going to school on Christmas Day, if you're wondering. School is still on. They finish the last day of the school year this Friday, and they'll be back to school on the 2nd of January. That sounds a little short for a holiday, but over here they don't really celebrate Christmas too much, and they don't really celebrate the New Year's too much. But in a couple of months, the school year will be finished, and they will have 2 months off, and that's when we will go traveling. Yeah, um, I think that's pretty much it. One other update is this dog here that's been following me everywhere. It's like I've got a new dog. He was a small puppy when we found him. He was just on our doorstep. Um, we never take him inside. He's too dirty for that. Stray dog. Don't know where he comes from. But the last month or so, I've just been feeding him, and he's just been hanging around. During the day, he'll stay here or just go do his thing and come back at night and sleep here on the deck. Yeah. Anyway, Happy New Year. I'll probably do one more video before the year's finished about how I spent my Christmas time. And yeah, okay, catch you later.